Okay, so we're going to go over the warm-up or today's bell ringer, which is dealing with completing a square. The problem says for the following quadratic equation, you're going to solve the following quadratic equation by completing the square. Okay? And the problem says x squared plus 8x minus 20 equals 0. Okay? First step is to get rid of the 20 because that is not a perfect square. So we're going to move it over to the other side by adding, which is the inverse operation, adding 20 to both sides. Okay? So that's going to cancel out over here, and I'm going to put a box here. Okay, a lot of teachers just use a line or empty space. I usually put a box, and something's going to go in that box. So whatever goes in this box on the left side will also go on the right side. So on the right side, you have 0 plus 20, which is what? 20 plus the box. Because the problem has to be in equilibrium, that's why we put boxes on both sides. Whatever we add to the left side, we also must add it to the right side. Okay? Then I'm going to drop the x squared down and drop the 8x down. Okay, now the 8 represents our b, our middle term. So I'm going to put a b right above here. And the a, which is not relevant in this problem right now, is our leading coefficient, which is 1. Okay? So we're looking for c, which is the square that we're going to complete, the perfect square. So the way we get it is we take b and we divide it by 2. And then we square it. What's half of 8? Half of 8 is 4. So 8 divided by 2 is equal to 4. And 4 squared is equal to what? 16. So 16 goes in both boxes. Okay? Now what is the square root of 16? 4. So that goes underneath. So here we're going to rewrite it as a binomial. We're going to write this perfect square trinomial as a binomial. So it's going to be x plus 4 squared. On the right side, we have 20 plus 16, which is what? 36, which is also a perfect square, coincidentally. All right, so to solve for x, we got to use the inverse operation. How do we get rid of the square? Square root. We take the square root on both sides. Okay, it's called a square root. So we take the square root on both sides. That's step 3. Okay, step 3. All right, now what happens to the square? It cancels out with the square root. They're inverse operations, so they cancel each other out. That leaves you with x plus 4 is equal to what? What's the square root of 36? Plus and minus 6. Remember, it has two answers, a negative answer and a positive answer. Okay, these are roots. All right, next step, inverse operation of addition is what? Subtraction. So we subtract 4 from both sides. That cancels out the 4 on the left, leaving you with x equals what? What is 6 minus 4? 2. What is negative 6 minus 4? What is negative 6 minus 4? Remember, you got to have two answers here. Use your calculator, please. What is negative 6 plus 4? Negative 6 minus 4, sir. Negative 6 minus 4. Negative 6 minus 4. Negative 10, thank you. That was a Freudian slip there. I know I said negative 6 plus 4, but it's on the screen as negative 6 minus 4. That's what we're looking for. Okay? So you have two answers. You're going to have positive 2 and negative 10 as your answers. And that's it. That's the warm-up. That's how you complete the square. Any questions on this? Any questions? So remember, when we're completing the square, for all quadratic equations, there are going to be two solutions. Unless the discriminant is equal to 0, which you have one solution. One real solution. Okay? You could have an imaginary solution as well. But imaginary solutions usually come in pairs. So if you have one real solution, then you cannot have only one imaginary solution. You have to have a total of two when you're dealing with quadratic equations. Okay? That's it.